Koski reports!
Greetings, Echo Cluster. This is Commander Koski reporting live from the Megarena. On this turn, there's not much going on the Megarena, the same conflicts. We only get some wonderful VCRs from the Evil Empire Civil War, where Corbies are fighting against Corbies. Although it's not exactly a huge surprise which Corby wins in a Corby versus Corby fight, the one on the left. But it's followed by another Corby, and then the Corby on the right gets the win, especially as it has heavy phasers. So that was much fun to see these huge balls. It was fun. But otherwise, on this turn, let's talk about diplomacy. And this is a kind of a diplomacy for dummies. You see, Planets is a game of tactics, logistics, and diplomacy. And I checked the scoreboard and I checked my diplomacy. You see, when I start the diplomacy in the beginning of the game, I do it by using in the diplomatic relations, there's a gray button in the very bottom that says send ambassadors to all players. And I click that and I send ambassadors to all players. Well, not everyone always reciprocates, okay, sends me ambassador back. And in this game, 5 players have not sent me ambassadors back. And from those players, 4 are among the 9 dead now. And the one is Supersmith. So I'm not saying that they are dead because they didn't send ambassador to me. I think they are dead because they didn't send ambassadors to anyone. I mean, if you don't talk to anyone, here's something that happens. You see, when you open your game in the very beginning, you see that, okay, this is my location over here. Now, which way should I attack? And then they start to send messages to neighbors. They say, howdy, neighbor. And if they think that, okay, I could be going this way, then all the other areas, I'm not going there. So I could say to those neighbors, would you be interested in a border deal or a peace deal or something like that? And for that one direction, you don't maybe say that. But when you say howdy neighbor to all your neighbors, there could be someone who doesn't reply. And then you might be wondering, maybe that player is hostile. Maybe that player is intending to attack me. Or when you are thinking, who should I be attacking? Well, of course, you don't want to attack multiple players working together. You want easier target. So a person who doesn't talk to anyone is a great prey. It's a great victim because it's a one-on-one battle. It's not one-to-many battle. So what happens is that if you don't talk to anyone, is that people think you are A, hostile, B, alone, which is true, which means that you will be attacked by a number of people. And I think Supersmith, not only that he was Wasp, that makes a big target on his, but if he doesn't talk to anyone and he starts to be hostile from the start, he gets a huge coalition to fight against him. And thus, he is making this game harder for himself by himself. Instead, Bram, for example, has obviously said to every neighbor, hi, and would you be interested in peace? And not surprisingly, people have said yes. And the same is with Tomako. Now, Tomako has also done something. I was talking first about the neighbor relations. That's the first level of diplomacy, especially here in Megarena. The second is the strategic relations. And the strategic relations is that when you start a game and you, for example, are a race with no cloakers and you think that you need cloakers to win the game, then the strategic relation is that you try to find a cloaking race. and you try to send a message and make a trade deal and try to make it work. For example, Merper here has done multiple of these strategic relations. He has got MCBRs and he has made friends with the Horvasp and everything else. You can make many of those, or you can make just one. You can make trade deals, you can make alliance deals from the beginning, you can scheme to kill a player, or you can, like they did here against Supersmith, or you can, for example, try to get a planet cluster for yourself, and to make that happen, you might want to make some deals with some players. So these are the two kind of deals. The first is the neighbor relations for peace and border and stuff like that. Then the strategic deals. Then there's also the third, which is the peripheral relations. Neighbor relations, strategic relations, and peripheral relations. In a game, a normal game, the peripheral relations are that you keep connection to the players opposite of the map. And the whole idea is that you try to be friendly and you share information to each other because you are not direct competitors. So you both gain advantage from sharing information with each other. And then a magic happens when you've, for several turns, done this kind of cooperation and the game develops. You both start to get to the middle of the map. Surprise, surprise. You might have good relations to continue that cooperation to do something else. So these are like also the kind of relations in the very first beginning of the game. The neighbor relations are the most important. Then the strategic relations are very important to win the game. But then in the end, the peripheral relations become in the fruition, I could say. Although all of these you can start on turn 1. So this was my diplomacy for dummies, the basics of diplomacy, and by doing this, you should evade the fate of those 4 dudes who lost their lives here by not saying anything to anyone. It's just a useless way of making the game harder for yourself to not answer messages. All you need to do is answer messages and tell people if you are attacking in some directions or not. It's that easy. Then you can keep on playing. And that's how it works also here on Hey Megarena!
Planets.nu. Commander Koski reports. Planets, Commander Koski reports.